Awake, we've been awake for an hour. You don't need to be yawning. Right. Are we ready, good sir?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Mind of a Madness podcast with myself and the wonderful Sean.
Hello there. Hello.
Once again.
It's good to be back.
It is. A little bit later, but... details.
We will be forgiven.
That's me. I'm always never on time.
He's always fashionably late.
Yeah.
Likes to keep people waiting.
Hey, if you come back and watch, you come back and watch. That's how we work it. But, yeah. How are you doing, friend? How are things? How is
Yes, I'm doing pretty well. Just excited to be back on here doing the podcast. Just working recently, doing some new escapades into Hancock. But yeah, just working and organising holidays and stuff like that. And it's been good trying to make fun things to look forward to and stuff like that. The new Scream film is coming out at the weekend, so I'm excited about that. I'm wearing the attire to match.
Yes.
But yeah, so good things on the horizon. How about you, good sir?
Yeah, it's been good, you know. It was a little bit tough last week, a bit of a mental health week last week, but it was pretty good. All went in the right direction. Been hanging out with people, been getting back on track with my diet, and being healthier. Planning
So it's
stuff.
healthy body, healthy mind, right?
Exactly. So it's been good. A little bit of no streaming as such. Haven't really done a lot of editing either, but I think it was nice just to take a few complete days away from everything. Prioritizing hanging out with people like today. Obviously, me and you are going to be hanging out. Looking forward to that.
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to the Last of Us episode.
Yeah, not hanging out with you, James. Just the Last of Us.
Oh yeah, I'm hanging out.
No, I'm looking forward to that as well. And this week I've got a bit of a busy week. Like tomorrow I'm going with my cousin when he gets his tattoo, and I'm also hanging out with someone after that, and I'm booking in my tattoo. So, and the rest of the week, like podcasts,
Squeals of pain.
squeals of pain. Obviously, then for the rest of the week, streaming and editing and finding more time to do stuff. So busy, but I like it busy.
Yeah, we all like it busy. If there's not busy, then there's more time to think.
Yeah.
More time to think is more badness.
More time to think is more time to be sad.
Well.
Which I don't want. So, yeah, no, it's been good. Been nice. Nice week.
Good. Well, I think we're both pretty excited to get into our little podcast.
Yeah.
It's all been brewing for 2 weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah. So let's do this. So I guess news is our first.
Yeah, let's jump into the news, shall we?
Let's do it.
Oh God, where to start?
Well, there was an update on the Nicola Bully case. We could start with that.
Okay, yeah.
Because the last time we obviously spoke about this, as it always is tradition with this podcast, the next fucking day there was an update.
Yeah.
So
Rather big update.
yeah. So of course this is a little bit old news now, but yes, they did find Nicola's body. It was in the lake, and of course the diving expert had every excuse under the sun for why he couldn't find it. So I mean, what's kind of our thoughts?
So they found her, and obviously they were kind of right with their hypothesis all along, but they kind of it's that fine line between sharing details and like respecting the privacy of her. But I feel like if the public would have known that woman with mental health issues kind of goes missing, and maybe there was previous attempts on her own life in the previous weeks, then I think the public would have not been as like kind of riled up about the whole thing. I mean, it's amazing how fast it's dropped from all attention now. Like, nobody's talking about it anymore. From like literally everyone having a 2 pence on it.
Yeah, it's nature of the beast, man. Nature of the beast. There's new news every day, and that's.
I know, it's surprising. It's like overnight, people just like, all right, that's dropped now.
It's crazy, but I mean I think that just shows the way of the world working, right?
Yeah,
like, that's just how it all goes.
Obviously, quite devastating for Nicola Bully's family and friends, and yeah, it's just a sad all-around case. I don't think there's any kind of suspicion around it at this moment anymore. There's going to be like an inquest in July or something, so which they will reveal more details and stuff. But I think we all kind of assuming it's kind of just a suicide, which is very sad. But yeah, that's the nature of the horrible beast that is mental health, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the saddest thing about it all was that, you know, people were convinced that she was in the lake, and then they obviously screened it, and they were like, "Hey, no, there's nothing in the lake," and then obviously
that diving guy was just pissing me off all the time.
Yeah, I think unfortunately, clearly they didn't follow every procedure. I think otherwise they would have found it. I mean, obviously there have been, you know, people saying and coming forward going, no, the body was put there after they did it, and it's like I don't really believe that. Like, there comes a point where it's like, now you're just going into, like, the fictition. You're trying to make it like a TV show.
Like, even if there was 100% definitive proof that, you know, she wasn't planted there, it was just like, some people will just make up more things, don't they?
Yeah, I think people like an interest. They like more suspense. They like dramatic and stuff. And like, I say unfortunately, but the realism of the situation is that life is not like that. Like, not everything has to be an incredibly huge drama. Like, sometimes it's just as simple as, hey, we missed it, we're sorry, we'll do better.
Yeah. I mean, you know, fair play to Lancashire Police. They seem to hit the nail on the head straight away, but it's just like the PR kind of aspect around it was a bit of a failure. But, you know, the actual policing was actually not that bad. But yeah, very sad. I mean, it's a whole public reception can be a good thing sometimes for like a missing person, but it's kind of just strange that the department didn't mention the fact that she, you know, was in vulnerable position when he did that like interview, and he's like kind of rallying the public, and he was saying she's not in the river. I 100% believe she's not in the river. The diving expert was saying 100% believe she's not in the river, kind of fueling public speculation. When, you know, I feel like that a lot of that was unnecessary. But, you know. I'm sure it'll all come out.
But to end this little story on a high note, obviously there was a little fundraiser that was set up for her, and the public have absolutely smashed it. There's like £35,000 that's been raised, because it just surpassed what they were hoping for. It's nice way to end it off, as horrific as the situation is and as sad as it is that a lady has lost her life and her mother lost her, you know, her mother's gone and whatnot. I think it just shows that sometimes, even despite all of the shittiness from you know, humans, there is some good to be had there, and I think that's a nice thing to officially sort of close the book on that Nicola Bulley saga here. I mean,
still had some problems with that, but you know.
I mean, there were some strange little issues, but
anyway.
At least people were nice.
The sentiment behind it is nice, but I'm not sure about the whole kind of, we want the public on board now, public, fuck off, leave us alone, but please give us the money then. Not sure about that.
The way you went about it, not the greatest, but at least there are nice people out there.
It's the sentiment behind it that counts.
Let's not go into too much detail.
Don't want to get riled up.
We both do have our opinions on that in the sense of a bit odd.
Well, shall we jump from one sad story to another? Because, you know, we love to do sad stories.
We love to do sad stories in the news because that's all that's ever fucking there.
So obviously there was a couple that went missing several weeks ago with a newborn baby. Constance Martin and Mark Gordon, and now the baby, they've been found, and the baby has been found unfortunately deceased, which is a real kind of horrible, disturbing thing to happen. So the parents, this couple are being questioned about this. So I don't really know if, you know, I think there is lots of suspicion on them, which it's just, it was believed that they were kind of living off grid and in a tent and stuff for like weeks, but I don't know what causes things like that. Apparently the woman Constance, she was born of like a stately background and like quite well off, and went to this art school and met this person, and then they ran off together with this baby. Like, what is even going on there?
I've only seen little bits and bobs about this, so my little understanding of it is that they were kept under suspicion, they then found the child's body, and now they've been accused of killing the child, which, why?
I know, what the fuck.
Why?
Going on a run with a newborn baby is just like, what?
That's already enough. But I mean,
That's like enough to put them away, surely.
Yeah, and I mean, then you've got. But what kind of monster do you have to be? Like, how fucked up in the head do you have to be like, yes, let's kill a child? That's normal, right?
Yeah, and let's just leave it.
Why?
What
Like,
the hell?
I don't know. Maybe that's because I'm not fucked up, as fucked up as I thought. But maybe I'm not as fucked up as I thought. But I can't comprehend doing that. That's a little too.
You may be
fucked
fucked up, but you're not a psychopath.
Yeah, I'm not a sociopath. Yeah, no. Like I don't know. To me, that's just. I can never ever understand kind of these situations. Anytime you hear anything about like children, whether it's Madeleine McCann, whether it's this horrific situation, it always brings me back to just that fucking Jamie Bulger case. Back, I think it was like 2003, where two kids,
My 10-year-old or something did that to him.
No, I don't.
And yeah,
like it's.
But these are fucking adults. So
even worse.
It's like even worse. And they can actually bring the book down on these people, but
Yeah.
it's just gonna kind of wait until there's proper evidence, I suppose. But yeah, whenever it comes to a baby, it's like, who would harm poor little thing like that? It's just beyond belief, isn't it?
Has anything come out about like?
I don't think so. It's all quite mysterious still. They're all like, suspicions are on. They're being held for questioning for an extra 36 hours and stuff like that. But I've not found anything definitive when I was looking earlier.
Yeah.
But I mean,
well, hopefully they are.
We'll have another update next time, I'm sure.
I'm sure some more information will come out tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Always does when we do this.
Yeah.
Hopefully they are prosecuted under the fucking strictest laws possible.
I know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that they are guilty of
Clearly, yeah.
absolute negligence.
Negligence at least, murder at best.
Yeah.
Like, it's, if you can call it best, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Not trivial. Oh god, I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah. We're not trivializing it. No, it's just more. There's the line. They fucking crossed it, and
yeah. It's just horrible things happen these days, and somehow we all become desensitized to it because it's just happened so often. But at the heart of it is deepest sympathy to like that child at least, and wherever that's come from.
Crazy. I mean, it is foul.
Yeah.
But, there we are.
Right, I don't know if there's anything else sad, but there's certainly some anger-inducing things.
Oh, wonderful. We're at that section.
So obviously Matt Hancock, all of his like WhatsApp messages were leaked throughout the pandemic, and
yes.
it's like all kind of everything he was saying on the pedestal seemed to be all like I don't know, wrong, bullshit, and it turned out like the whole kind of TLDR is that he wasn't following the science anyway.
Matt Hancock lied. What?
I know. It's a bit like, on one hand, would anyone like their WhatsApp messages released on you probably turn out to be like a complete beast at anyone's WhatsApp messages.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, he is a minister in a position of power, telling us what to do, telling us that they're following the science. And it turned out that he was like saying that we should frighten the pants off the public, and we should do this and do that, and all kind of backhanded, sneaky, horrible lies.
I think the problem is as well is that with stuff like this, especially when stuff comes out, like Matt Hancock, one of the people that was at the top, has come out and obviously been found to have said this stuff. It kind of feeds into those people that during the pandemic were like, oh, this is all shit. They're just trying to scare us to keep us in. It kind of feeds into that thing of, hey, see, COVID-19 wasn't that bad. It starts feeding that fuel for that fire of, hey, it's really not that bad. It's like, well, it was. It's just you have these morons that don't seem to understand that if they say something and it comes out, kind of feeds back to, the bad stuff.
And the only ones I actually trusted in those like briefings were the Chris Whitty and Patrick Vallance or something like that. Yeah. The actual kind of scientists.
The scientists that know what the fuck they're talking about, instead of Boris going, we should eat a Greggs, we should have a pasty. It's like,
have a pasty. Vegan sausage roll.
The vegan sausage roll. It's like, fuck. It's. I don't know. I think it's not. I don't think anyone's surprised that all of this stuff comes out. I mean, let's face it. As you say, no one wants their DMs leaked. No one wants stuff coming out. I mean, we all say stuff in private conversations that would get us all in trouble.
Anyone thinks they're a saint and doesn't do that to you. You do.
let's not fuck around here. We've all got that dark sense of humour. It's just whether or not you've got the bollocks to own it. And we've all said stuff that we can change and evolve, and maybe Matt Hancock is different now. Maybe he's grown. He hasn't. He's still
after being in the jungle.
He's still an arsehole. But he is part of the government, so there is maybe that line of like, hey, maybe don't say certain things.
Yeah.
You know, like, use your brain or what you have of one.
It was quite funny how he was like nationally hated, and he went in the jungle, and then everyone kind of loved. Well, not everyone, but 50% of the brain dead population decided to actually like him again.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
And then all of this comes out, and he's just like back to square one.
It's so stupid. Like, I remember talking about that actually on the podcast when we were talking about Matt Hancock going on the jungle, and I remember my stance just was the same. No, he's still an arsehole. Why do people suddenly? It's just this. It's the thing we just talked about not that long ago when we were talking about Nick and the Bully. It's that drama, that the redemption arc. People think that life is a TV show. About like, oh, how to get better. Oh, he can redeem himself. It's like, how about no?
The narrative he wanted.
Yeah, I mean, all right. Does everyone want to see someone do better? Yes, of course. But let's be real here. He's Matt Hancock. Cock is literally in his name.
Yeah, you don't have to go far to realise he's a cock.
You know, he only hired a woman and then cheated on his wife with her. He only broke every law that they made. He only said all this in DMs about scaring the public. He only pretended to care. I mean, you know, what a guy. What a scamp.
It's like, people with the intuition saw this from day one, but, you know.
I think a lot of people just don't like, oh, but I just want to move on and stuff. And it's like, yes, that's why we have the governments we have now. Because people don't want to acknowledge it.
But the next pandemic could be just around the corner, and we need to learn our lesson. Make sure the right things happen. But obviously, yeah. I mean, the next one will be a once-in-a-lifetime thing as well.
Fuck me, Rishi Sunak's in charge. The man that literally was the Chancellor who fucked the economy. I mean, he didn't do as bad as Liz Truss, let's be real here, but he still didn't do a great job.
Yeah.
So, just saying. But, I mean, Matt Hancock, he is a cock. That's just how he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the TLDR about it.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's shocked to this point in time of like, well, all the messages that he sent and all the stuff he said, it's like, why are you shocked? Like, we started this podcast during the pandemic, right? It was the first year of the pandemic. He hasn't changed. He's still a knob.
Yeah.
like me. He's still a cock.
Believes he's better than everyone else.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you're gonna believe it, that's fine. But at least own it. Don't try and be nice.
Demented.
That's good for you. But yeah, I'm not.
There is a few more things as well. Rather than waste any more breath on him.
Yeah, fuck off, Hank.
Well, I'll get rid of the awful one first, I suppose. Wayne Couzens. It's all like come out of like the pipeline that Wayne Couzens, the police officer who abducted Sarah Everard and raped and killed her.
Yeah. That's some strong shit right there.
It turns out that he's been like, obviously he was known. We realised that he was known to the police as some kind of criminal, which is weird in itself. But apparently weeks before he was like flashing himself to like loads of people. Apparently he went to a McDonald's drive-through literally either the week or the night before he abducted Sarah and exposed himself to the workers there, and they reported it to the police, as you do. And of course nothing was done about it because he's a police officer and they don't have time to deal with things like that.
Well, a man showed you his penis, get over it. It's like,
I know. Really?
Alright, thanks for that.
But the things with these psychopaths is that it starts out small and then it kind of ends up in, the case of Sarah, which is horrible.
And the thing is, there's plenty of research. There's plenty of evidence out there to prove that those are the fucking building blocks to a monster happening. I mean, we've done it for murderers. Why can't we do it for nonces? That's what we call them in the UK. And he is a nonce. More importantly, a murderer, but a nonce.
Yeah, he's. I don't even know how people like that get through their system and become police officers. Like, if it should be a one strike and you're out kind of system, but apparently not. So that's all. So he's been given another sentence of like 15 years on top of his life sentence. Big whoop for that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
It's just sickening.
It's the problem is there's this handful of police officers that are shit and somehow still have a job. And it just makes them all look bad. And this is why...
They all come from the Met, apparently.
Yeah, and this is the even worst thing about it. It's like... It's the same problem America has, but in the UK it's like the opposite end, but it's just as bad, right? So, all right...
Abuse of power.
Abuse of power, but in a different area. And it's never... I don't know. It's never going to change. It's never going to even out. And this is why...
In America, it's like it seems to be more fueled by like racism.
Yeah, which is disgusting.
But here it's just absolute disgusting creeps.
Well, welcome to the UK. Well, no, okay, we don't murder people in our police force, but we will just bring them back to our dungeon and lock them up. Like, that's just as bad. Like, I don't know. It feels like we've said it 1,000 times on this podcast. The system is broken. It needs to be redone and just built back up again. Like, clearly something is not right if you're having people like this man. I was going to call him a gentleman. He's a scumbag. But this man, who is apparently a police officer, but thinks it's appropriate to walk into a McDonald's and say, "Here, have you seen me helicopter before?" Like, that's not how this works, sir.
Yeah, apparently this was all like unheard of under Cressida Dick, and then she resigned, and now it's all coming out.
I'm not surprised.
Why is it with all these cocks, like Dick and then cock?
Ironic that they all work in places of power, and they all
have penis in their name.
Cocks. But to be fair, I'm sorry, but Cressida Dick was shit at her job. She was. She failed to spot the government broke its own laws because she's a moron. She was corrupt from the start, but everyone was like, "No, she's been there so long. That can't be the fucking."
Giving the go-ahead to hire criminals, apparently.
Yeah. How could she be corrupt? She's been there for over 2 decades. How could you say such a thing? It then comes out that she was not exactly on the payroll, shall we say, but wasn't exactly following procedure.
Just like slacking.
And yet I'm the fucking
like
lunatic. I'm the lunatic that calls these people fucking criminals. Like, come on, man. Break out of your fucking Matrix bubble.
The bubble of power.
Get your fucking head out of your bow tie and just start fucking seeing what's going on here. Like, you're a conspiracy theorist. What have I said that's a conspiracy? What have I said that's a theory, actually? Can we establish this? Like, I don't know. It's crazy to me that I think a lot of people, don't want to see I don't know, whether it's that policeman that did that or, the leader at the top. People don't want to see corruption there because they want to believe that the people in charge are doing what's right for the people below.
And 90% are.
Look, again, it's the same thing when it comes to like big groups of people being dickheads. It's just a small minority that are ruining it for the rest. Unfortunately, that small minority is at the top. And that's where the problem lies. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm not surprised that another police officer is a dick. Like, I think it's sad because I think there are a lot of them out there that do try hard.
It's just like this one's obviously been known for quite a long time, but now we're just learning how much of a huge dick he is.
How small his is.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, that's disgusting. And again, please do not go around flashing people that have not given you their consent.
I think people who flashing people like, I'm not going to listen to a podcast and go,
I'm going to change my ways. Do you know what? I'm going to listen to this Welshman. He seems to know what he's talking about. He knows.
But yeah, I like to think we have some nice viewers on it.
I'd like to think no one who listens to this podcast
a serial flasher
has gone to McDonald's and gone, this would be a great place to get my penis out. I'd like to think.
You know what the algorithm is these days? We don't know.
Yep. Well, I mean, we get buried because we actually, say words. But there we are.
Well, there is one interesting news thing which can be a bit of. Apparently, loads of Roald Dahl kind of classics are being censored now with some kind of words like fat and ugly are being taken out of them because they're offensive to young children. And,
Yep.
So, like, what do we think about this? It's obviously kind of world gone mad kind of thing, I think.
Yeah.
And like these are classics. They're classics for a reason because they're not changed for centuries and decades, and it's like just kind of keep them as they are. I know the argument is that, well, some people don't have like parents to contextualize all these things for them. I mean, what kind of kid sits at home and reads Roald Dahl anyway, on their own? I think they'll be on their iPad or PlayStation.
I mean, now, these days, yeah. Back when we
these days. But I think you're most likely to read them in schools and stuff where you can like rely on the support of the teacher to contextualize.
I would kind of understand the word changing if it wasn't changing it from something like, as an example, right? They changed the word fat to enormous.
Yeah.
How is that any better?
No. I'd rather be called fat than enormous, to be honest.
Augustus Gloop was enormous. Like, yeah, okay. You're still calling the child fat.
Beastly or something.
Yeah, I mean, look, Roald Dahl was a scumbag. He was a racist. He was like, as all of the fucking old writers and creators of amazing, films, TV shows, whatever, they all were. J.R. Tolkien, literally the creator of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, was a anti-Semite.
It's literally just like.
Guess what? His work isn't. Like,
separate the art from the artiste.
I do agree with one thing. If something is literally inherently, racist or something in a book, then yes. I get changing that for the purposes of trying to update it. That's fine. If it comes to a fucking word, grow up. Grow up. Get some thicker skin. Like, it's a fucking word. And as a fan of the Roald Dahl books myself, and pretty much the only books that I read when I was a kid other than Beast Quest, and that's because there was about 5 words on each page. I love the books. The Twits, one of my favourite books ever. And I don't think they could probably bring that out. Because you'd have to change it all. Like, I don't know, it just seems very odd to me that they would do that with a series of books. I get updating for the times, but I mean, these are kids' books.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to go back and edit the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory film then? Because there's a few fucking scenes in that probably aren't child-friendly anymore then, in that case. Oh, yeah, well, we're going to take out the scene where Augustus Gloop falls into the river and then gets sucked up through a tube. It's like... Yeah. And that's the Johnny Depp version. I mean, obviously there's the version before that. I can't remember the actor's name now.
Yeah,
but
it's one of those things like how much cotton wool can we like wrap around things like. Yeah, kids these days are exposed to way worse stuff than the word fat in a Roald Dahl book. I mean, Jesus. I mean, literally the other day, kids with knives were like, the whole school was in lockdown because kids with knives were like circling nothing in school, like near me. God. Like, what the hell is going on?
And I mean, also, can we just establish this? Why is this still not a thing that's being adapted? If you tell someone not to do something, or read something, or look at something, you encourage them to do it more.
Yeah.
Like, it's really not hard to understand, guys. Come on. Like, what are you doing?
You're feeding the thing that you're trying to prevent.
Yeah, and it's so stupid as well. Like, it utterly ridiculous. Like, how dumb does one have to be to not know this? Like, I mean, I get it. Like, maybe updating something for the times. Maybe if something is inherently just not okay now, then that's fine. I get changing that. Like. But you can't be like, well, we're going to be so sensitive. You can't say fat anymore. Well, that changes The Biggest Loser. That program's changed completely.
Yeah, Fat Fighters.
Fat Fighters can't. Fuck, Little Britain's gone. That's been banned already, which is hilarious. Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. I have the DVD, so fuck you.
Crevices of YouTube still provide.
I don't know. It's. I don't know. I'm not in with the fucking censor everything.
Whoever's got time to kind of make these kind of legislation or like these comments has got way too much time on their hands.
Yeah. Go out and touch
should focus their efforts on different things.
Yeah. Go out and touch.
Be actually helpful.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know. To me, it just seems very pointless. Like, it's an unnecessary. Like, there's so many other things you could be focusing on, and you choose to do it on this.
No.
Like, I don't know.
This must be a slow bloody week for whoever's job it is to look at.
Wow, you're really having a slow week, aren't you? Yeah, we just got to take it.
Yeah, we're going to analyse the Roald Dahl books now for things that we are offended by.
Ugh.
Or which we think that people will be offended by, because we like to get offended on behalf of other people.
Yeah, that's my favourite thing, when someone says, well, I'm offended by this. Does it affect you in any way? No, but it might upset someone else. Why are you getting offended on behalf of someone? Like
kind of offended empathy, please.
Go out and touch some grass. That's all I ask. Like, I don't know. It to me, it just seems silly. Like, anything like that is just completely pointless.
Yeah.
And again, these are classic books. I get it. Maybe some of the wording is not up to date now, but that's the point of being a classic. Like, it is different.
Yeah. It's supposed to be kind of enjoyable and kind of understandable for, like, generations.
Yeah. Plus, context matters. Can we just point this out as well? Like, it's all about context. Like, you read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, no fucking lunatic is going to have an enormous factory that creates chocolate that looks like that.
It invites a load of kids kids for sweets with golden tickets.
Yeah. Like, the golden ticket idea, I guess, has been taken and used, but you're not going to find, for instance...
I mean, the whole kind of it's like stereotype around, you know, strange man offering you candy to get in a van and stuff. Like, Willy Wonka is basically the epitome of that.
The Witches, so, one of the best Roald Dahl books, The Witches, that's been adapted into films constantly. It's now basically like all the fucking description has been changed. It's like what?
Every single fairy tale or folklore is always kind of it's always born from darkness and horrible themes, cannibalism, all that kind of thing. But it's kind of made into something nice.
I don't know, man.
But
stupid.
Yeah.
Very stupid.
Times change, but you know, idiocy doesn't.
Yeah, people still stay stupid. Despite, you know, the change in the world.
Yes, is there any more news things?
Not that I have.
Shall we move on to the fun stuff?
Let's move on to the fun stuff.
Oh, there's more fun stuff, because that was still fun.
Yeah, there was a lot of fun in that.
Yeah, fun.
Right, should we go to films?
Yeah, let's go to films.
Let's do films. So, what have you been watching, good sir? Have you got anything?
Willy's. No, Willy's Wonderland.
Well, someone's been going to McDonald's, haven't they?
Oh, yeah. Can't stand it. Not enough sausage.
Not enough sausage.
So, yeah, I watched Willy's Wonderland, which is obviously the Nicolas Cage one, where he kind of is stuck with, you know, plays with a load of animatronic animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite funny. The best thing about it was obviously Nicolas Cage, and other than that, not really much standout.
Yeah.
But I quite enjoyed it as a little kind of so bad it's good kind of flick.
Yeah,
which is what a lot of Nicolas Cage ones are.
Yeah, I do love Willy's Wonderland, man. So good.
He doesn't say a word throughout the whole thing, but you still get a sense of, you know, who he is as a character.
He's Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas.
Nicolas ridiculous.
Ridiculous Nicolas.
Oh, we love Nicolas.
Yeah. But yeah, that was an enjoyable one.
Yep.
I did watch Shotgun Wedding as well on Amazon.
I've still
that was quite a good one with Jennifer Lopez. Yeah, it was good. Like it was kind of just like a silly kind of action flick, like that came out of lockdown. Like a few of them did, but I think people well received, and you know I quite enjoyed it. Maybe chuckle a few times. Yeah, turn your brain off, enjoy. A little silly idea that just works.
Yeah, it just works.
But yeah, recommended for a little nice, enjoyable flick.
Cool.
But yeah, please go ahead.
Well, I think we'll start with The Last of Us. Should we?
Oh yes,
so we got episode 6 and 7 that we can talk about because we're gonna watch 8 now later.
Yeah.
But 6 and 7, what do we think? What do we go
yeah. What was in episode 6 again? Remind me. I know that episode 7 was the DLC.
Episode 6 was
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, yeah. Meeting Tommy again and seeing.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that episode, despite not remember it. Yeah, I quite enjoyed the Jacksonville parts. Like, I commented while we were watching it how authentic it looked and how like amazing the sets were. And yeah, it's good kind of progress episode. Yeah,
It was
a lot of kind of things happened, a lot of the relationship kind of drama and like that. It's nice to kind of get to know these characters a bit more. They're interacting with other people, and it's not just Joel and Ellie. And yeah, quite liked episode 6.
Episode 6 was definitely an impressive one for sets. The entire Jacksonville set was stupendous. Very good. Yeah, interesting few characters, interesting development.
And see more Tommy.
Yeah, it was. Do you know what? It was really nice to see more Tommy, and it was nice to see the dynamic between Ellie and Joel grow quite quickly. I would say over that episode as well. Some of the scenes from the game, you know, the most notable one is Ellie and Joel having an argument because Joel's like, "Stay with Tommy. Tommy will take you." It was done. It was transferred.
Not her.
Yeah, it transferred very well actually over to Pedro and Bella. They did a fantastic job with that scene, I think. Definitely, Bella has grown on me completely. I see her as Ellie. She's done a fantastic job now. She's grown into that role tremendously well, and I applaud her for her performance.
Yeah. Well done, Bella.
Yeah, but of course, at the end of that episode, Joel gets injured. They obviously had to change how it worked. I think they did okay. I think it was an okay change. I think it makes more sense. I mean, trying to do the game version of him getting impaled probably would have been a little bit difficult. So but yeah, what did you think?
Yeah, they did well with that one. I think I've exhausted episode 6.
Yeah, to be fair,
episode 7.
The big thing about episode 6, Jacksonville, looks great.
Jacksonville and Joel injured. So get a big setup kind of. But obviously, the next episode we get is in the game it is the DLC. But so it might feel a bit. Let me just rewind. I feel like I saw a lot of thing online about like how it was like kind of filler episode and stuff. I was like, well, this is the DLC. So I was pleasantly surprised when I watched it. I thought it was definitely a necessary episode. If someone who didn't know anything about the games watched it, they'll be this is a bit filler. I don't know what's going on here. We just got Joel injured and we want to know what happens next. But that's what it's like in the game as well. Like,
yeah, it does slow down a little bit. I mean, I get it. I think I get it. Like people. I think the way they implemented it into episode 7 was to obviously show that, hey, look, Ellie doesn't just run away from people. You know, when she cares about them, she sticks with them. And I think that's how they tried to fit it in there. And I think it worked, man. It was really good, well acted. Both actresses did a fantastic job, or actors, whichever one you prefer. There's me getting cancelled. But yeah,
not really accurate.
Yeah, no, they were both fantastic. They did a great performance.
Did justice, yeah.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest, again, it's the thing. The thing I will say about this show is the set pieces are fucking phenomenal. Like, they've done a fantastic job with them all.
Yeah, that mall was so good. It's like lit up and did have quite an open top, so I'm not sure how people didn't notice. But yeah. Yeah,
there's a weird section essentially where they put the power on in this area, but there's like an open top. And you can clearly see that it goes outside. Me and Sean were a bit like, wouldn't someone notice that? But that's a nitpick, right? It's a nitpick. Yeah. We get it, but it was still a little bit odd for us. We were like, wait, what?
And it obviously had the pun book and the carousel kind of scenes and stuff. Those are all kind of standouts and stuff that you need to put in that.
Yeah.
That was enjoyable. And yeah. Obviously, it kind of ends in disaster, of course. But they did that justice as well. It goes from it rips your heart out your chest straight away, doesn't it?
Fuckers.
But yes, I know definitely for the next one, I'm super looking forward to that one. So I just know deep down it's going to be contender for one of my favorite episodes.
They can't keep getting away with it. Yeah, the next one is. Where it starts really building up now, and from what I've seen from people, talking about it, it looks like it's going to be very, very good.
Yes.
But something we can quickly go over with episode 7, and it's the sad world we live in, is that actually in some areas it was censored.
Was it?
Can you guess why?
I don't know.
fucking the kiss between Ellie and are we still at this point where we can't see same-sex people kiss on TV? Is this still a problem?
We saw like two guys fucking a few episodes ago.
I'm sure that was fucking sense of hell for people. But yeah, no, apparently the episode between episode 7, the kiss between Ellie and Riley was apparently in some regions removed. It was just taken out.
It was literally just a kiss.
Can I just say, if your country is still doing that, you live in a shit country. Like, how fucking stupid is that?
Well, your government is shit. That's just
Most governments
censorship.
what the fuck? Like, why is this still a thing? Where just
Oh, I don't know. It's probably some kind of obscure, like, little, obviously the country reflects the
tainting the children.
attitude. Yeah, but they don't not even worth kind of, mentioning those people because it's just, let it be.
Fuck them, but it shouldn't be a thing. Sorry,
it shouldn't be a thing.
But yeah, no, brilliant episodes. If you haven't started watching The Last of Us already, dear God, please go and do it. It is the best adaptation you will ever watch. It's fucking phenomenal.
Worth your time.
Absolutely phenomenal.
It's just worth the Now TV.
Worth Now TV just for that. But yeah, finished watching Peacemaker. Finished that off and finally got to the end of it, and yeah, really good. I really enjoyed it. A lot of fun. Very very interesting. I don't know. It has the serious undertone and then all the comedy on top. So I think that kind of it works. John does a great job as Peacemaker and acting as him, and you've obviously got actually a pretty big cast in there. I think some of the roles are a little miscast, we would say. I think there's a few scenes in the end that I was kind of like, that wasn't necessary. But yeah, no, overall, really good series. Shame that it's been, delayed. Like season 2 is massively delayed because obviously DC is having this complete restructuring with James Gunn and everything. So, but no, good series. I would recommend people go and watch it.
Yeah, if you like your superheroes with a hint of dark humor, then it's the one for you.
Yes, definitely.
And the story isn't too bad either.
Yeah, it wasn't actually a terrible story. I mean, I know nothing about Peacemaker, but I mean, now I like him.
Yeah, I like him.
I like him now. I like it a lot.
And his dad, the racist he is.
Yeah. Oh God, the guy who plays him, it only clicked with me. Like I think when he was fighting him, when they had the fight scene, and then he kills his dad. Obviously, spoilers. Oh well. He was in Terminator 2. He was the bad Terminator, chasing after John Connor. I was like, oh, I recognise him. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's a big cast. Fair play.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's got the American Pie guy as one of the detectives.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I fucking recognised him from. I couldn't fucking put my finger on it. I was like, where have I seen him? Where? And I love the music in the beginning and the dance.
Yeah.
I still have it playing in my head right as we speak.
I know. I never skip the intro. I was always watching that.
One of the very few intros never skipped.
Yeah. And National Treasure. I don't skip that one as well. It's just for the nostalgia.
Oh, National Treasure. But yeah. On the topic of Little Britain, I watched their Red Nose Day special and all the behind the scenes stuff recently.
Is this a recent one?
No, this was way back. This was just after season 2 had come out, so it's quite old.
So it's still actually funny then.
It's still hilarious. I was watching it because again I'm lucky enough to have got the DVDs before they fucking got rid of them all. And they actually talk about it in the behind the scenes stuff. They're like people don't understand that this is just a joke. It's humor. Like there are some questionable things in it. I won't lie. Doing blackface is not okay, and that probably wasn't a good idea on their behalf. Like having a white man dress up as Mr. T. Fucking hilarious at the time. Probably not okay now. I'll give them that. I'll give you that. That's not okay. A white man shouldn't be dressing up as a black man. Like that's not.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like all in the kind of context of a joke, though, isn't it? It's
I think it's a product of its time. I think that, you know, there's a difference between saying, hey, okay, maybe doing that now is not the best thing to do, but back then it's just a product of its time.
No one thought twice about it. I can guarantee there was probably zero or one or two articles about it at the time.
Yeah, like there wouldn't have been a lot.
It's not that he was playing black character, but he wasn't kind of in that universe like as a white character being a black character. He was playing a black character.
Yeah, the entire point of that joke, by the way, so people that are now offended out there, the entire thing of that joke was the idea of someone not understanding they looked like Mr. T and having no idea who Mr. T was. So that's why they did the character. That's it. It wasn't because they were trying to make stereotypes. It was all because of. Wouldn't it be funny if someone looked like Mr. T, but they just didn't know who he was?
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, that's the whole kind of source of comedy is people picking fun at other people, and people being relatable to other people. So, but yeah, whatever. That's been cancelled anyway. So
I'm still
we have to find different woke sources of humour now.
I'm still gonna watch it and laugh.
Like Marvel films.
Oh god. I'm gonna catch up on Marvel. I'm going to. I'm having to build myself up for it because I just know how shit it is. Okay, so two quick films that I'll throw out there that I've watched that are very much out of my repertoire. I normally don't watch stuff like this, but one was called A Most Violent Year, which is basically based around this based on a true story, but this guy who works in the oil industry trying to do it, you know, not illegally, and his family ends up getting put in danger and stuff. So a great cast in there. I actually thought it was Bryce Dallas Howard at first. No, Jessica Chastain.
Okay.
They look very similar, and I never knew. And a film called The Fifth Estate, which was really cool. And for those of you who aren't aware of what WikiLeaks is, you missed out on a lot. So it's about the story of the guy that made WikiLeaks. Stars Benedict Cumberbatch. He plays the titular character, and it's actually a really good film, despite the fact that it's very much kind of like you have to kind of just watch stuff unfold. It's not like full action and stuff. It's still really good. Very well acted, very well done. Highly recommend.
Yeah.
And then I've watched.
There's a few good films like that where it's just kind of just watch it all unfold, and it's more thrillerish.
Yeah, I mean it's weird because I normally don't look for films like that because they're not my thing.
He's got the attention span of a goldfish.
Basically, yeah. Like that's the truth of the matter. Like there's very few. Like I've been going out of my way recently to try and watch stuff that I normally wouldn't watch, because I wanna broaden my horizons. And I'm glad that I did, because this was a fantastic film and done very well, and I'm looking forward to watching some more.
Yeah. It's funny because in the film industry, like Marvel stuff and most of the stuff that is popular these days is all considered like absolute shite.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't personally agree with it. But that's just what the general consensus is. Like, anything that's in the cinema basically shite. Yeah. It's all about the independent, lots of independent films, and obviously the kind of unfolded ones.
I definitely think indie is doing better, but I wouldn't say that everything is shite. I think it's kind of, it depends where you're looking as well. Like, I think a lot of the Marvel stuff recently has been more crap because they've kind of just rushed it out. Whereas, other stuff hasn't been so bad. For instance, John Wick 4 comes out this month.
Yeah, excited for that one.
I can't fucking wait. They finally have Scott Adkins in it. Finally. I mean, he doesn't look like Scott Adkins, but that's okay.
It's okay.
They've got Donnie Yen in it as well. That's fucking nuts. This is gonna be a fucking incredible film. Like I can.
Is it the last one?
Well, I think Keanu Reeves said before that he was like, "I'll keep doing John Wick as long as people want me to."
Okay.
He was just kind of like, "We'll keep it going. We'll keep going." I mean, that's all the John Wick films are really. It's just action.
I suppose they're not like narrative heavy, are they?
No.
It's a lot of action.
And I am here for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean.
So I suppose it isn't really. I was going to say, maybe it's run its course by now, but I suppose there's nothing really to run out because there's not much narrative really to it. I mean, there's enough, but it's yeah, I think as long as he can keep on doing it, as he's able to do it, then
Yeah.
I'm sure no one will complain.
Which is the crazy thing about it. Like, the reason that he does most of the, or if not all of his own stunts in John Wick is because of how it's shot. It's shot very much like kind of the old martial arts films, like the old kung fu films. It's where they show everything and it's not just cut.
Yeah.
Like huge
Kung fu.
Yeah, it's very much, hey, here's the entire scene. Isn't that cool? Instead of just cut. Born
That's where it's
Supremacy.
like unique, isn't it?
Yeah. Don't watch a Jason Bourne film if you want to see action, because you won't see anything except for blurs.
Cuts.
But yeah, on the topic of that, I did watch John Wick 1 and 2 recently. Went back to watch them. I'm going to watch the third one tomorrow now, and then I'm going to go see the fourth one when it comes out. So
Nice.
it should be good. And then finally, the last film I've got, which you did mention on the podcast not that long ago, which is another indie one, which is Fall.
Yeah.
Which is now probably in my top 3 films. The way it's shot, the way it's filmed, it all... Oh, so good. Oh.
Yeah.
Very, very good film. Very underrated.
I recommend you don't read like Reddit threads about, kind of the plot holes or something. Because I'm sure some people will go absolutely crazy. But yeah, as I watched it, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
The acting in it is done very well. I think the premise of it is really good.
I
Obviously,
love those kind of films.
yeah, I think obviously there's a little bit of a little bit of bending of reality. I think when it comes to, of course there is. It's a film. Get over yourself. I mean, but it is very good. It's very, very interesting, and it's again. I just love the cinematography in it. Like it's incredible. Like some of the shots.
See Negan.
Yeah. Oh, I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He's in it. Granted, doesn't have a huge part, but I mean, doesn't need a huge part. He's still did a good job. And again, like I said, the 2 female actors that are heading the
very
film.
Immersive.
Yeah. Again, I think honestly, the cinematographer. What was his name? I wish I could remember things.
Immersive kind of survival style of film, which I quite like.
Yeah, McGregor. That's literally the name of the cinematographer, McGregor. He absolutely smashed it. Like this film. Like if he doesn't start getting more work, I honestly, people are missing out. The guy did a fantastic job with it. Like it's rare that you watch especially when it's a film about like heights and stuff, and you're kind of watching it and you're kind of like, There's a few scenes where you're obviously like, yeah, that's a green screen, but there's some scenes like there's a specific scene when they're climbing up. And then the camera just pans down, like it looks straight past them and looks down. I honestly think they must have gone somewhere, shot the scene, and then just imposed it in really well.
Yeah.
It's just very, very good.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, I don't really know what genre it would be, and maybe
Thriller.
I'd be classed as horror because it is like kind of the monster is the heights.
I don't know. I'd say it's personally, I'd say thriller, but I understand why some people might go, no, that's fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
I get it. For me, I'd say thriller, but it's very good.
It's that whole kind of 147 meters down kind of thing as well.
Yeah.
127 hours and stuff like that. I like all kind of films.
The 127 hours. That's a great film, but I've never been able to go back to it simply because of the snip.
Yeah. I remember that vividly.
Oh, that's stuck in my. I've only ever watched the film once. Still remember it. It's fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I'd be watching through a TV series on Amazon again, The Rings of Power. It's all right. It's better than House of the Dragon. I'll give it that. And I do like how they do the orcs as actual makeup and stuff like that rather than SFX, which it is still a bit of a blending of that. But I like how they've kind of gone back to the use of actual prosthetics and makeup.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all right. Interesting enough. Kind of have it on the background when you do something else.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right.
It's all right. It's all right.
Better than that Game of Thrones rip-off.
Jesus. I think there are a lot of people that disagree with you. I don't know. Oh man, that might be a spicy take.
No, I think there's a lot of people that agree with me. I'm always
Probably.
right.
Yeah, that's true. You are.
Screw 'em.
Yes. Any more film stuff?
No.
Well, alright then. Shall we move on to gaming?
Games.
Games played and games to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Destiny 2 expansion came out a couple of days ago, Lightfall. I was probably quite naive and didn't realise that wasn't the last one we're doing. There is another one called The Final Shape that's coming out next year.
Yeah, that's meant to be the penumbrical. Isn't it that's kind of like the end of this chapter of...
Yeah, something like that. I know they've always had this like 10-year plan and all that. Fair enough. But yeah, I suppose the best thing about Lightfall is probably the new super abilities you get as Strand. The narrative isn't so great, but I mean, I enjoyed it while I was playing it. It's basically what you would expect from a Destiny expansion, basically.
Yeah.
And the fact that Stranded is in there is probably a bonus for me. The post-story stuff is quite good. But yeah, narratively, it's not the best. And there's so many things in the game which I just wish they just did differently. But it's like, I am not the creator of the game, so that's up to them. But yeah, it's what you expect. I'm sure there's lots of people that really love it and defend it, but the thoughts of a casual Destiny player.
The thoughts of a casual Destiny player. Yeah,
I'll play it for a few weeks and then leave it for a year.
I lost interest in. Apparently, there's a lot of people that are hating on the Destiny expansion, Nightfall. I don't know enough about it to kind of to comment of it.
It is blown a bit out of proportion. The whole all of the hate.
But I mean, yeah, I'll be honest, I don't care.
All the ones that hate it are the ones that pre-ordered the $100 editions.
I mean, that's your fault. That's your fault. If you did that, that's you. That's you, man. That's all.
And Bungie came out and said, well, I think one of the main complaints is that it doesn't really explain anything in the story. I won't give out spoilers or anything.
Yeah.
But it's just... they all kind of talk about these things in the story which they expect you to know as a Guardian, but you don't because they haven't bothered explaining them. And then they came out with this weekly post saying that make sure you get the season passes for the next seasons to fully understand the story. It's like, no, we want you to understand the story in the expansion, not in seasonal stuff that is going to disappear at the end of the year.
It's like, how about no?
So read the room, Bungie. You've always been money hungry, but
but not that money.
At least release some quality things with self-contained stories and not having to rely on people to buy extra things to understand it more.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. There's the line.
Don't cross it. Yeah, no, that's fair.
But yeah, that's Destiny. When will we learn?
Never.
It's just basically it. Destiny might as well be an ISA or something, a mortgage where you keep on putting money in it. You put so much in that you might as well just keep on paying it.
It becomes like a job.
Well, if you let it, then yes.
Yeah, that's true. If you let it, then it will.
But yeah, so what have you been playing?
So I played 2 horror games on stream. Inuaki Tunnel and Okari. Hopefully I pronounced them well. So that's the Chiller Arts horror games. I went back to play a couple of them last week. That was cool. Interesting ones. Not bad. Pretty good. Would advise buying.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Very cheap games as well. So yeah, that works.
Yeah.
No, they were good. They were good. I enjoyed them for what they were. Also been playing Satisfactory. Again, great game on PC. A lot of PC games, man. A lot of PC games there. Good time. Enjoyed it. Little bit. I don't know. It's one of those ones that, yeah, it's fun, but it can also be really fucking boring at times. So you kind of just have to see where you want to go with it. See if you just
roll with the punches.
Roll with the punches. Yeah, exactly.
No, not advocating violence. That's expressions of offensive.
It's expression. Went back and played some Far Cry 3. That was really cool. It's been a while since I
really want to play some more Far Cry 5, but I just can't comprehend the 30 frames. It just doesn't work.
It's just, I don't know. It's just the same game. But yeah, Far Cry 5 is a good game, and it's a shame that they've locked it 30 frames.
That's just a me problem. So I will get used to it if I actually went stuck with it for a bit. But it's not like interesting enough to stick with for so long.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Ubisoft game, so. And then obviously Outriders. We've been playing slowly through that, getting through it slowly but surely.
Very enjoyable gameplay.
It's alright, yeah. I think people shit on it a little bit too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's not like it's an amazing game or anything, but I mean, if you were expecting an amazing game, then
basically Destiny meets Division, but all of the live service cut out of it.
Yeah, mostly.
Fine by me.
I mean, I'm up for that. I'll take that. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. It's okay. I enjoy it for what it is, and it's fun for what it is. So can't really complain or grumble. No. It's a little bit of a challenge now. We've hit, I think, World Tier 8.
Yeah, it's a lot harder. It's not quite as casual as I thought it would be. It's quite difficult in some regards. I mean, obviously, people who pros at it will be like, oh, you fucking suck. But
you can suck my nuts.
It just reminded me of Division of that in that regard, where you get out leveled very easily.
Yeah.
So you've got to always keep on top of your loot and change guns over and stuff. So I suppose it's encouraging you to use different things, which is I suppose all right in that regard. Fair play to him.
Yeah.
As far as the story, I'm not really that invested in it. I think the story was kind of a bit of a I don't know. I think the main focus was on the gameplay and stuff like that, which it has done well. I will admit that is fun, but yeah. Story was a bit secondary for me.
Yeah, the acting's not great.
And the way the character looks at it disapprovingly, I think. Well, maybe that's just the way I created my character.
They all look a bit dead behind the eyes, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking dull.
We'll play through it.
Yeah, we'll get through it, and we'll let you know the ending.
Yeah, I can't wait for the ending.
I don't think I'm going to buy the DLC though.
I've heard it's more of the same, basically. So.
Yes.
Worth it for PS Plus, but yeah.
Yes. On the news of PS Plus, should we talk about the PlayStation Plus games that are coming out? So obviously Battlefield 2042, Minecraft Dungeons, and Code Vein.
Yes.
Pretty good haul. Pretty good haul for March. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. They've been killing it this year so far, I think.
Yeah, they've been doing a fucking great job. Sony, please continue this. You're shit at every other practice, so at least be good at something. I think it's a good haul. I mean, Battlefield 2042 is worth nothing anyway, but I mean, it's nice that it's there. Yeah. I appreciate it. We got an Xbox game.
We've had all of the Battlefield games so far, I think.
Yeah. Interestingly, we got an Xbox game. Minecraft Dungeons. Like.
Yeah. I launched that a little bit earlier. It's an Xbox company or something. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's an Xbox original and made by Microsoft. So.
No, joking.
I will not play this on my PlayStation.
Shit. It's got cooties.
No, I mean, it's cool. I approve. I appreciate it. I mean, Sony need to stop being so fucking negative towards the merger with Activision and Microsoft. I mean, I get why people are worried, but don't be. They're not going to cut out Call of Duty for you. Calm your tits.
No, it's like the main seller on PlayStation. Pretty sure they sell more on PlayStation than they do on Xbox. Are they going to cut that out? Don't think so.
No, and plus it's all going on Game Pass anyway, so I mean they won't make much money off of it. So fucking.
Yeah, they're making most of the money from PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly. So
it seems.
I mean, yeah, just fucking calm your tits. It's fine. And then Code Vein, which I already own, but I think that's a fantastic game to throw up there.
Yeah. I
mean, if you like anime, like Dark Souls.
I've heard good things about it. It's not one I've ever kind of seeked out, but I'm glad it's there. It's
a Souls-like, but it's not as hard as any kind of Souls game. Like it's much more user-friendly.
I do like my Souls game a bit softer.
I don't know. I like being pounded into the ground. Makes it worth the challenge. I don't know. No, probably not. But I mean, yeah, it's a good game. I'm glad that it's a free one. That's definitely a good deal for anyone that doesn't have it. And I mean, obviously, this month it's a good one. It's a good one. Of course, there are a few, kind of PlayStation Plus extras stuff that's coming, but we're still waiting for news on that.
I think they announced some of them. I don't know, Chia. And that was one I saw at one of the state of plays they did. I thought, that looks really cool, like another indie kind of game, a bit like Rhyme and stuff like that.
It does look very good, actually, I have to admit.
But yeah, that's a launch. launch game, so that fair enough. You know, that's more of that, please.
Yeah. Ghostwire Tokyo, that's going on there for sure. Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection, that's going on there, which is.
I don't know if that should have been on.
I mean, that's a bit of a slap in the face. You've just got rid of your PlayStation Plus collection and then moved it over.
Yeah, it's a bit like that. I don't think they had the PS5 version on, but that'll be their excuse.
But I mean, yeah, it's the PS5 version, so yeah. And then Rainbow Six Extraction.
Oh, is it?
Why did
I? Oh, how did we know that was going to be next? Like,
yeah, I bought it for like £8 because I got the steelbook for it, but I haven't played it yet. I know.
It's... Now we'll move on to the Extraction.
Yeah. And then Immortals Phoenix Rising is also coming over. As far as we know, anyway.
I wanted that one.
Lots of Ubisoft. I wonder why that is.
That's just a comment on the state of Ubisoft.
Yeah, Ubisoft are they're fucked right now. I mean, we could do an entire podcast just on that alone, but
I'm glad I could handle it.
Yeah. But yeah, there's more games to be announced, and of course these come out on the 21st of March. So
there's also a few leaving. I think.
So 2K, WWE 2K22. No one gives a fuck about those games anymore. Yeah. I think it's got a Velocity Box Ultimate Bundle.
Yeah.
Danger Zone, Dungeons 2, Ghost of a Tale, Monster Energy Supercross. Oh no.
Oh no!
And Victor Van Overkill Edition as well. They are leaving the service on the 13th.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that's all fair enough. And I don't think any of them will be missed by anyone. But I mean, even if there was some that were kind of big hitters, then that's the nature of the service. That's what you're paying for. Like, I know they don't make it obvious, which is really annoying.
Yeah.
For me. But yeah. They need to kind of make it a bit more front and center, to be honest. Cause...
Yeah, there is a section now. They have added a section of like games leaving, but it's like all the way at the bottom and it's hidden away.
People miss it.
I don't know. I'm still not convinced at this service. Like, Sony are still lacking on it. I mean, don't get me wrong, Essential's fine, and they've been killing it with the free games. I'm all for that good shit. That's fine. But yeah, definitely Premium needs to start improving a bit more.
Premium is the right other thing at this point.
Extra's okay if you've never owned a PS4, then Extra's like pretty much I would say as far as must-have, because you just get so many games.
Yeah, it just depends how big of a game collector you are, I suppose.
Yeah,
if you've already bought all these games at launch, then it's not going to be worth it for you, really.
And also how much you're willing to put into it. Like if you're a trophy hunter, it's going to take you a while to get through all those games.
Yeah. I think last year it was still like, oh well, I've got all these subscriptions and I still don't really have anything to play. It's nothing really interests me. But this year I think I've got too much. Like Horizon, the Forbidden West was on there, and I've not even touched it yet, even though like it's on my kind of A list of things to play.
Unpopular opinion, probably for the best.
Yeah.
You could play literally like
and
3 hours.
Trying to get through the quarry and all that stuff.
Play the first 4 hours of Forbidden West. You've seen it all. There you go.
Yeah.
Like, don't waste your time.
I'm betting they're going to release kind of the new God of War on there, and Sackboy and Ratchet and Clank.
I think this is the thing, right? Sony are so stupid with their practices. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand they've made a ton of money off of Ragnarok, right? I get it. But they would make like a shit ton of money as well if they just put them on day one releases too. It's not cheap to have PlayStation Plus. Like, this is something that people are forgetting, is like, the Game Pass is a set tenner a month, right? And that gives you the PC access and the Xbox access. With Sony, it's not that. It's like £9 will get you just the online and the free games a month. Extra is something like a tenner a month, and then Premium is like 14 quid a month or something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean,
if you get them yearly, I think there's the
yeah.
It's like 49 for the normal one, and then 84 for the extra,
84.
And then 99 or something for the premium.
Yeah. I mean,
so that works out like less than £10 a month for the max one. So
yeah.
I'm not sure what the pricing the thing is, but like, I don't know if anyone. I would always recommend people buy things like yearly and wait for deals, and that's what I do. But obviously, not everyone can do that at the time. But you're always going to be paying more if you get it monthly.
Yeah, I mean, I I'm obviously going down to Essential now, so on the 24th of this month I will no longer have Extra, because I have too many games, man. I just need to finish them. But I got it for another month because Outriders.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I really want to play through Immortal Phoenix Rising. It literally is just a Ubisoft open world, go here, do this thing. But it is a game that's interested me. But, I mean, it's not interested me enough to warrant parting with that much money. Because I pay my stuff for yearly normally, not monthly. So, don't think... I can always upgrade it as well, that's the thing. You can always upgrade, you can't downgrade.
Yeah.
For God's sake.
The deals for like upgrading are always like quite good. I can upgrade for like less than a tenner for premium, but I mean even that's not worth it.
I think I can upgrade to premium if I want for the last like few days for a quid.
Like 50p.
Yeah, and that's great. I appreciate that, but there's literally
it's still not worth it.
There's no point. I'm
unless there's like one game you're really wanting to play.
Yeah, and it's and I'm sorry, it's not worth me playing a 3-hour trial of a game. Like. No.
That is an absolute con, that. You're paying the premium price to get a demo for a game which should have been free.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what the hell?
Exactly.
Pay demos the Sony way. Just works.
Fucking Sony, man.
I didn't mind it when you bought a demo disc that came from a magazine.
Oh, that was cool.
For the PS2. That was alright.
I missed it.
That was a bonus. But, you know, demos should be that demos of full price game. Free demos at full price game.
Agreed.
Yeah. Any more gaming things?
No, that's pretty much it for me.
Well, I think that's pretty much it from me as well. That's pretty much it.
That's it for the podcast.
That's it for everything.
It's gone forever. No. Yeah. No. That was a good one. I enjoyed it. It was fun. We had a lot.
Yeah. It's got a few interesting things in there. Like I think interesting things as a section has now just kind of become smattering throughout, which is kind of just it's natural. It's how we roll with it.
I mean that's the podcast has changed a lot since day one. Yeah. Like if you go back and watch. By the way, that's another thing I will throw out there now. If you want to listen to the podcast on Spotify, the first 20 episodes are now on Spotify. First 20.
Yeah.
It's getting there.
Our dogs are about to get extremely noisy, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's fine.
My mum's just coming.
We'll lower your audio. There we go. Can barely hear you. No. Yeah. I mean, it's been fun. But if you want to check out the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, you now can. They're over there. I'm still working through getting as many up as I can. So
Apple Podcast.
The first 20 episodes are up and live on there, so feel free to go and check them out. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a good one today. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining us, and I hope you've enjoyed our content.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you again in probably a bit more than 2 weeks, but
a little bit more. But thank you guys for watching. It's been a pleasure as always, and see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.